The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you! Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal.
So, he was thinking the same way that we were thinking. That it isn't conclusive evidence that Will did it, since we only see the Steel Samurai outfit. And it can't be anybody else. I mean, that is why he didn't look so happy when we asked him about this. Good for him. He has his good head on his shoulders this time. 10 points for Gumshoe.
He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, Oldbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. He was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty badly. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew he was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle? Huh. Interesting. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Phoenix, don't say it like that. It can mean more than one thing, you know. I'm just saying.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Do you? Whippersnapper!
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I said is on the straight and narrow. The up and up. You today, always worrying about each other. It's enough to make a no...
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but sometimes an upset witness can slip up, so you're gonna have to go through it. You're gonna have to suffer a little bit. I think Edgeworth has met his match.
That morning, during the run-through of the action scene.
What happened? Hold it! Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers. He's the Steel Samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate. And me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing. Just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then.
I saw Powers trip and fall.
Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Ew. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her. She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
That is definitely something that we're gonna have to ask Penny next time. He may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. He was a big mess.
He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear? The murder weapon? Are you kidding me? Well, I don't see any signs of it being broken.
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in a court record. Okay. Well, you would think that this is something that you would notice from the start. Yeah, breaking the shaft has been mended with duct tape, so I guess it is true. Yeah, you wouldn't notice it at first. God damn it, Phoenix. / people. You should make me aware of this sort of stuff. I would have noticed it at first.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty badly.
Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he wouldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Just a nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot. Okay. I think we've heard enough. Edgeworth? Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is... where is this steel samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. What? What do you mean it couldn't be found? We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, here it comes. Here comes Mr. Edgeworth striking. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Oh, as usual, we shall do what we're best known at, and that is to object. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Okay. Witness account, continuation?
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:40 p.m. True? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Alright. Let's continue with this.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:40 p.m. True?
Is it actually true? Hold it! How do you know that?
Eh? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gunshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. Oh yes.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers.
I'm hungry for donuts. Right now. Either way, let's press more. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking. Right.
No one else went there.
What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before one? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them.
Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy? Ain't that right? Ain't that right, edgy boy? Bite me.
Old Windbag sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean.
Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Nick?
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:40 p.m., true?
Well, okay. So you're saying that you saw nobody else. You're saying that there was no one else. Then, can you explain why this particular photo has the number 2 on it?
Objection!
Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo 2. Indeed. That is the most interesting part about this. Can you tell us where the first photo is?
Photo 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself.
Hey! You watch your mouth, Whippersnapper! The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
Don't know about that one. The camera activated right when you arrived at 1 p.m. And this photo was taken at 2 p.m. So clearly somebody must have gone by the camera in that 1 hour interval. Are you sure you only saw Mr. Powers? But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help!
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You are a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper?
Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? I think that she's broken right now. She said that word too much, now she's short-circuiting, I think.
That's right. Whippersnapper. Of course! That's the solution to my problem. Whippersnappers! I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by that gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes. I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please.
Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out many photos. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first time I've heard of this. God! The people that I have to work with, I swear. I swear to Attorney God. This is so not gonna end well. Grr.
Oh, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I couldn't have expected this.
Alrighty then. Going through the process.
Every day after—
Shut up.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one important job to do.
I guess I can already press her while she's talking. I guess I have to let her end her line before I can press. I cannot cut her, like, in the middle, which would be funny. Another job.
That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Do you back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see.
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces. For the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers' photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
Huh. A fanboy.
A fanboy? A fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? Yeah. I mean, you yourself were at the main gate. And you said it yourself that you locked the main gate for no entry. So, you're basically telling us that the first photo you threw away was that of a fanboy who pretty much got through the main gate, got through you, and went to Studio 1. How is that not suspicious? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, There's a train that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain? Huh. I see. So someone could get inside through that drain without having to go through the main gate. And go to Studio 1. Well, I say that is pretty valuable info there, Oldbag. If it is indeed true. So, you should have told us from the start.
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and...
And?
They're kids. Children. Whippersnappers. Actual whippersnappers.
Kids? Well, the drain is pretty small. Small enough for kids to go through. I mean, it would make sense. So, on the photo that you erased?
He was a boy. Probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What?! Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day? One was the steel samurai, dragging his leg. The other boy was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop them. Cannot catch them.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it will be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield a similar spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
It does make sense.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect.
Which would mean that, in order to solve this, if what the Oldbag is saying is true, then today we're definitely gonna need to find this boy and have him be the witness for the next trial. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. I'd like to take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense of the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Oh, okay. October 18, 11:08 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3. Mr. WP? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So, who was the steel samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of. You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? Oh, it doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick! What are we going to do?
First, we play for more time. Well, we'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. Well, we're definitely gonna have to be strategic about this. I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder? Well, even if there is another person involved, which is the little boy, we cannot say that it was him who did it since the spear is so heavy. Granted, there might be means to have the spear hit Jack, but the crime scene didn't really suggest anything that would make it look like a contraption was used to kill Jack Hammer. So somebody had to have killed Jack by being right near him and stabbing through him. But who? I mean, not to mention that in order to get inside Studio 1, a card key would have been needed. But that is impossible since we also have the Steel Samurai to take into account. The one who had the spear with them and entered without a doubt. I mean, the old bag really seems like the best option here, despite me having some doubts about this. So, let's go with this one. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Wendy?
Who?
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady Oldbag. Indeed. That sounds about right, Nick. The Oldbag sure knows a lot. I mean, clearly in order for Will Powers to be accused of murder, she could wear the suit to make it look like it was him, and to pretend that he had a sprained ankle in front of the camera, to make it even more clear that it was Will, since she is among the very few who would make it, since she is among the very few who would even know about his ankle to begin with. So, out of everyone that we know thus far, she would most likely be the one.
What? Whippersnapper!
Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag! That's Miss Oldbag to you!
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, She has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel... She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume? Well, like I said, to make it look like it was Will Powers, since he's the one that wears the steel samurai costume all the time. Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in this costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. Oh, I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. I never get the recognition for this. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Yeah, I can sense him. I can sense the putrid smell. And also the dark force. Ooh, and I can also hear the march of the prosecutor from the distance. The volume getting higher and higher. Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection? And some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. Really? Come on, man. I mean, I was so prepared to go all Edgeworth on you today. I see. I see what you're doing here. You are trying to look weak, so that when the time comes, you will attack us from the shadows. You're still waiting for that gold opportunity. And when that will happen, I will finally be able to go all Edgeworth on you. Okay, I'm waiting, but don't make me disappointed in that front.
What? What's this supposed to mean? Oh, so you think I did it? Is that it? AJ boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way? Sure thing, baby! The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. I mean, why would Will Powers attack and kill Jack Hammer? I mean, it's not like for example, Jack Hammer was more popular than Will Powers. I mean, Will Powers is the Steel Samurai, who is the most famous in the TV show. So, I don't really see any motive as of now. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. I hope. No hard feelings. I hope.
Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased!
He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter! When I was at that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds, tops!
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not a killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it... Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day? Whippersnapper!
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this crime? Oh, yeah. I mean, this card key. I mean, in order to get into Studio 1, you would need a card key. Now, where would the kid have a card key to begin with?
Take that!
The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The went back, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness. Miss Windy... What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Alrighty then. Well, I guess it's time to...
Wait a second! I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree! Me! I'm talking!
Yeah!
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Oh, the life of an attorney. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? And it's not by Edgeworth? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, it makes sense. Like, Edgeworth throughout all this looked like he didn't know anything about this case at all. About whatever the fuck Oldbag was doing in this thing. He doesn't know jack shit. Well, to testify. Okay. My lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting it away scot-free!
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
My head hurts. Aneurysm. I cannot even. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. What a fucking trial this was. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. What the fuck was this trial even?
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something.
So, you were told not to talk?
That's right. By the studio and TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Who? Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course!
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.